Do it up. What's the word? Luck is in the building. You have a you have a slightly swerved, highly irritated Luck tonight. I have to keep it real with you. And I would have thought that this good ass basketball game we just got to witness would kind of cure the soul a little bit. You know, sports is really one of them things, which is why it sucked when the pandemic hit and kind of shut it down. Sports is one of them things that can really like cure all things, especially for like people who are really into it. I know a lot of people are not into it, but a nigga feels some type of way today, man. You know, and I don't like to do too much of the political or too much of the I don't like to harp too much on the shit that goes on with, you know, what they do to our kind, because we all know what the fuck is going on and it's all fucked up and it's all bad. And when I say my kind, I mean black men and women, black people, light skin, dark skin, black people overall. You know what I'm saying? But this whole Breonna Taylor shit just really pissed me off today. I want to read to y'all, because earlier when I was at work, when that shit dropped, I had to look up what the fuck wanton endangerment mean. Now, not wonton like motherfuckers be spelling it like the soup, which I love the soup. Shout out to the soup. I don't want to disrespect the soup. But wanton endangerment is a person can be guilty of wanton endangerment even if they did not intend to harm anyone or to commit a crime. It is sufficient to recklessly disregard the peril of one's actions created. Well, let me see if I can find a Wikipedia for y'all real quick. That's kind of like the dictionary for a nigga for me. But all in all, it sounds like if you come in there, which is first degree, a lowercase first degree, a low-case first degree. As a matter of fact, hold on, I'm working both on because I wanna give y'all this shit how it really comes, because this shit is irritating as fuck. Like, we shouldn't even have to go through this. So how does a person you kick the dough in, they in their bed sleep when you boot the dough in. No knock warrant, whatever the fuck. They sleep. You shoot them. Okay? While they sleep. And a motherfucker get off for pretty much shooting into the next person's house. Like, that's their crime? Like, I got a cousin who did 16 months for discharging a firearm in public. But what's this? It's a Class D felony, I believe. Hold on, let me just look the whole thing up for y'all, because it's discouraging, man. Like, overall, you know what I'm saying? Class D felony, $1,000 fine. Like, it's nonsense to even have, like, whoever house you shot into is more important than this black person that you killed. A Class D felony in Kentucky could carry up to 5 years in prison a fine on conviction, and dude is on $15,000 bond. Let me hit this one. I've been trying to drink this wine too. I got this red. You know what? I was gonna save this red wine list, but after this shit, I gotta keep it positive. So I'm gonna get a red wine list tonight. But how the fuck can you kick somebody else's door in? Okay, these motherfuckers in here sleep. Whether you got a warrant or not, man, how do you kick somebody else's door in, kill them, and you basically getting a slap on the wrist? That's basically what you're getting. You're getting a slap on the wrist. And this is why voting is important. And voting, and it's not even just about the president that you're voting for. I know a lot of people think, oh, this is just Biden and Trump, Teflon Don and Trump. I mean, Teflon Don and Biden. But voting is important down the line for putting people in place to make changes down the line. You know what I'm saying? The shit that we've been shit that we got going on right now, this is from shit that's been put in place decades ago. You feel me? This is why you can get away with wanton endangerment. Because it's been put in place for so long that these are the laws. It's time for us to vote people in to change these laws. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really important. And it's fucked up, man. And I know a lot of people well, not a lot of people, but some people are going to try to bring up the whole, where they took the settlement for $12 million. And listen, a civil case and, I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but when you're trying to put somebody in jail for something, are two different things. And so normally under most circumstances, as far as I've ever seen, you've always seen a civil case after somebody has either been convicted of something or not convicted of something. But in this scenario, you found out about the civil case a week or two before they had the judgment for whoever had did it. He hasn't even been, tried for that. For example, OJ. OJ went through the whole court case, got acquitted, and then he got the civil case where he had to end up, I think he ended up having to pay like $33 million, something like that. Something crazy like that. But the civil case is usually, we know you did something wrong. We couldn't prove it. All the evidence that we're going to take from that, we can't say you did it. We're going to take all the evidence from that and we're going to get paid for it. And that's what a civil case normally under some circumstances is. Not necessarily a murder trial all the time, but that's, what the circumstances are. And, they took the 12, whatever. They're entitled to that because, Louisville PD fucked up and killed somebody who did not deserve to die. And, I just don't get it. I just don't get how we can keep... And somebody tweeted earlier, all the people saying, how are you surprised? Like, it's not I wasn't... What would have shocked me, if they would have came out and said, we charging all of them, or one of them, or two of them with first degree murder, that would have shocked the shit out of me. Hearing that they got off with basically a slap off of the wrist didn't surprise me at all. It makes you mad though. Like, how often do we got to go through this? You know what I'm saying? Like, how often? We're on it now. You think what happened to Trayvon Martin, I believe, was 8 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago? And he didn't do anything wrong. And that motherfucker got off. And that's why voting is important. You got to change this. They got that whole stand your ground thing, a lot of that stand your ground thing in the South. And that's something that needs to be changed. You got to vote that out. You got to vote the right people in to get in the Senate, in Congress, governors, mayors, to vote that up out of here. So we ain't got to go through that. So your kids ain't got to go through that. That's going to take some time. It's not going to happen in the next 4 or 5 years. But you may be able to prevent your child that may be a newborn or 3 or 4 or 5, 20 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, getting gunned down. You know what I'm saying? It's a process, you know? And it's just frustrating. It's frustrating for a lot of people. It's not even just frustrating for black people. It's frustrating from people who actually give a fuck about human life. You know what I'm saying? Black people, Filipinos, Asians, Samoans, whites, Chinese, Indians. Everybody who cares about human life gives a fuck about this. You know what I'm saying? And there's certain people who don't, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna talk about Teflon Don people. Teflon Don Trump. I got that from bro off Twitter. Teflon Don. But, you know, it's not my name. It's not something I brought up. It's what bro brought up. But, like, it's just irritating us. And like I said, I try to keep the podcast positive because we already know about this shit. We already like go through this shit. We already gotta go through our personal shit. You feel me? But this shit is just hard on black men, on black women. Like, it's just difficult to just keep going through this over and over and just end up with the same result over and over every single time. You know what I'm saying? But it just sucks. And let me talk about this. The Attorney General Daniel Cameron of Kentucky. This nigga right here. First of all, let me say this clearly without any type of interruption. Fuck this nigga. Straight up, all the way through. This man get up on there today. Mind you, I believe she got, I want to say, was it March she got? Oh, let me be all the way right about this. I want to say it's March because I think that's when I first heard about it. Yep, March 13th. March 13th. So here we are, 6 months later, and here he is. I understand as a black man how painful this is. Nigga, what? Wasn't you just up at Trump campaign rally 2-3 weeks ago talking about how great it would be if he gets reelected? Like, what the fuck, man? And this is why I say voting is important. It's not, listen, that's a black man that's with the shenanigans. A black man that's with the shenanigans. Not a white man, not an Asian, not a Mexican. A black man that's with the shenanigans that you would expect to be like, huh, yeah, man, we gotta, you know, this ain't gonna be able to, you know, this ain't gonna be able to work. Listen to me, man. And I'm speaking from my outside spot. But if I was the AG, I'll be willing to put my job on the line to make sure that this black woman got justice. Wherever I'm at. If I'm in Wisconsin, California, if I'm the Attorney General, if I'm the mayor, I'm putting my job on the line to make sure that this shit get done right. This is how it's supposed to go. If somebody is killed wrongfully by the police, somebody is supposed to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law for it. If you shoot a motherfucker, if the police shoot somebody, they had a gun, or they were shooting at the police, or they stabbed the police, or whatever the fuck, understandable. Not even fully understandable because you're the police. You're supposed to be able to de-escalate situations. But I understand this situation sometimes you can't control. But this motherfucker was, this woman, this human, this black woman, this human was in her bed sleep and was murdered. And you understand as a black man, 6 months later, how painful it is? It's a load of crap, my nigga. Bullshit. Fuck dude. Straight up. Straight the fuck up. It is what it is. I said how I felt. Fuck him and anybody that support him. And it's fucked up, man. I don't want to talk about this the whole podcast. But I can just understand how pissed off people are. You know what I'm saying? We've been dealing with this. I look at this, the Rolling Stones top 500 albums, I believe. And they said the number one album was Marvin Gaye's. Hold on. Was it Marvin Gaye's Inner City Blues? Was it Marvin Gaye's Inner City Blues? Where was that? Because I sent it to somebody. And then I read. They got a lot of great albums, number one, in that goddamn top 500. It was like, it was great to read some of them albums. And a lot of them albums I did know, a lot of them albums I didn't know. But it was just a pleasure to read through that. I suggest y'all go find it if y'all on Twitter, if y'all on the website. Rolling Stone has a top 500 albums. Now, I personally only went through the 100 because I'm a dude who don't really care to wait too long for anything. So I like to get to it. Which is stressing me out right now. I'm trying to ad-lib time because I can't find the... But I believe Marvin Gaye's album, they said, was the first album to really bring clarity to police brutality in music. And they got a picture of it on here? Because they got so many songs. I mean, so many albums on here. Got my nigga Jay-Z on here. They got Jay-Z on here twice. Kendrick is in there. I really need to look that up, though. I need to send that out for everybody just to read or look through. But yeah, though, like, it's been going on for a long time, man. And I think every decade has been like some form of kind of fuck the police. Whether it was singing fuck the police or rapping fuck the police. Singing fuck the police in the 70s and 80s. Fuck the police in the late 80s and 90s. And now where we at now, you know, it's just, it's a lot, man. It's a lot as a black man. It really is. It really is. But I'm not finna keep harping on this. I know y'all don't fuck with the podcast for that. But I appreciate y'all for listening to it just for these 17, 18 minutes I bloviated about it. Because it's something that needs to be talked about. You feel me? And normally I'll wait a couple of days and then do a podcast about it. But today was the day. It had to get out. Fucking America. You feel me? It's just all bad. You know what I'm saying? It's just all bad. So, I'm going to do about 2-3 topics and I'm going to let y'all go on about y'all life. I know y'all got shit and things to do. Game of Thrones. So, one of my oldest friends, Jay, had really told me to watch Game of Thrones. So I went on ahead and watched it. And I could tell you, man, I could see why y'all liked it. It was a damn good program. Like, it really was. Now they got this spinoff called The House of Dragons. I'm a man who's into dragons. I don't know why I'm so into dragons, but I like dragons. Like, it just, you know, it's a cut up for me. I fuck with it. But I like Game of Thrones. I really did. It had a lot of storylines, a lot of different ways of bringing shit back, putting shit in motion. A lot of just running shit all the way back around. Like, it was really well put together. And when on Twitter in 2018, I believe that was when they dropped the last season, and the first 2 years everybody was just so into it and loved it, and then they like hated the last season. I didn't see why, but I kind of do see why. Because it's kind of like they kind of just crushed so much together. But I think, and this is just my personal thought on this, a lot of television programs that succeed a lot, or that succeed a lot, run into these issues where a lot of stars start demanding more. Like, the show gets so good, people start demanding more. Salaries, cameo time, things of that nature. And so when you get that happening, you gotta kind of start cutting people or not making shit so long or pushing shit together. Because I believe it was 10 seasons. 10 episodes, and then it went 8, and then 6. So I think they kind of just crushed it all together to get rid of a lot of people. But like a lot of shows, like Shameless, for example, without Fiona the last season, because Fiona felt like she should be paid like Frank Gallagher was paid. You feel me? She was a number one. She held the show together as much as he did. And he was getting more and she wanted more and she wasn't going to get what she wanted. So they took care of her. She wanted out. She was like, I'm done. I'm good. I want to do it. So I think that's what happened with that. I think the last season was still good. It was just rushed, like a lot of people felt. You know what I'm saying? But I'm interested in the spinoff, The House of Dragons. What they talking about? It should be out around 2022. And I think it'd be dope. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna see how it play out. But it was definitely worth it. Like I said, I'm not a medieval times type of dude. Like, it just don't really work for me. I don't really care too much for it. And it was tough to watch that on occasion sometimes, just how slow it was and how they tried to develop everything. But it was really good though. It was really good. I can see how it's in people's top 5. I can. I really can. All right, let me give you my great wine list. And then I'm going to give you one more and I'm gone. So here's my great wine list. Now I've been culminating this over the last, I say, maybe 3 months. Maybe the last 3 months I've been putting this together. So, St. Vincent's is a Cab Sauvignon. Katina is a Malbec. Uppercut is a Cab Sauvignon. Mondavi is a red blend rye barrel, which is really my favorite. That rye barrel, boy. Is it ITER? I don't really know how to pronounce it. That's a Cab Sauvignon. Really good. Phoebus is a Malbec. Fuck, call it Maybach. Malbec. Hella good. Hella good. And then Radius Merlot was really good too. But my 2 favorites, though, this one I'm sitting right now, is Stephen Vincent. That Uppercut Cab, that Mondavi Red Blend, Rye Barrel, and that Phoebus. Hella good. And I'm going to keep this list for myself. But I'm going to start a next list for the podcast. Because I'm a wine connoisseur type of nigga. So I like to put together, a few good things, you know what I'm talking about. So that's for the top. Got to come through with that for you. But yeah, Stephen Vincent really good. Katina, Uppercut, Mondavi Red Blend, ITR, Phoebus, and Radius. Really good wines. I'm a red drinker. It's just my thing. It's in me. It's on me. It's how I do it. I fucks with the reds. So my last one I'm going to give, and then I'm gone, is about... So this came up on Twitter. I ain't gonna keep out too long because I just got a 911 text, so I gotta get to that. Hopefully it's nothing horrible. But vacations as a first date. And this was a topic on Twitter. And I was like, I said, it sounds like a good ass topic. And a vacation as a first date is not something I would do. First of all, if it's a first date, listen, no matter how much you text somebody, talk on the phone to them, DM them, tweet them, Facebook them, Snapchat them, whatever the fuck, FaceTime them. You really don't know somebody till you're like around them. And I don't know if I want my first time to be around somebody to be a 3-day weekend somewhere. Because what if I don't like you like that? What if for all intents and purposes this don't work for me? Or you know, what if you weird? What if you're a weirdo? What if I'm a weirdo to you? What if the shit I do is weird? What if the shit you do is weird? That's why you gotta work yourself into going on vacation with somebody. And I know everything on social media is like hyped and you gotta do it fast and be together so fast. I'm an old school nigga, man. I'm not doing no fast shit. You feel me? It's gonna take its time. It's gonna make its way, and the summer it's not gonna be nothing at all. And that whole, I'm not going nowhere with somebody I don't know. And as a first date, we going to Vegas or Thailand or New York or Monterey or I don't know, nigga, Colorado Springs, whatever the fuck, Palm Springs, the Grand Canyon. I'm not doing it because I don't think it's the right thing to do. I don't know you like that. I don't think it's the right setting to get to know somebody. Stuck with them in a room, stuck with them on vacation. People change when they out of their element. And sometimes you don't even know their element. You feel me? So I think it's just a bad idea. But that's me personally. It's a lot of people who don't give a shit. They want to fuck. They want to be with you after 3-4 conversations, 8-9 pictures, 20-30 DMs. Like, it's not. I don't want to do that. I need to see you in person a couple. I'm not even saying a lot of times. Let me see you in person 2-3 times. Let me see you in the elements of life 2-3 times. You know what I'm saying? And then we can figure out something. We can do something. We can go somewhere. You feel me? If I meet you in August, the first time we go somewhere should be some type of vacation. We should, pull up on each other or, have a conversation somewhere. Have a drink somewhere. The pandemic's starting to open a little more shit up, so you can do that a little more regularly. But, I just think you need a little more clarity and shit. You know what I'm saying? Before you think with your hormones and end up somewhere with somebody you want to be with. Because I don't feel comfortable paying for a whole vacation, or we splitting the whole vacation and we're not going to be together. We just did this for the funnest shit at some point. That's pretty much what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I was just going to give y'all a little bit of my time for that. I got 30 minutes. I'm still really upset about the whole Breonna Taylor thing. I just wanted to get some other topics in, just talking about some other shit. So, you feel me? Just want to be some drawn out, fucked up ass podcast. Because that's not what I give y'all. You feel me? Shout out to all the people who hear about the podcast and fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Via word of mouth, or you just stumble across it, or you see it on social media. It's all love, man. I appreciate it. Just trying to keep it, as solid as possible. Keep it as dope as possible because, real shit is what's going to make the world go around. Not trying to fake it for whatever, fake it for likes. I'm not faking it for likes. I'm not doing it for likes, retweets. I'm not doing it for followers. I'm doing it because it's real and I have fun doing it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my guys. You know what I'm saying? And a little bit of everything podcast. We're going to holler at y'all on the flip side. Peace.